Hello, my lovely, lovely students, and all out over there. Idioms and proverbs. Yes, you have guessed correct. Today's our lesson is based on idioms and proverbs. Today we are going to discuss about idioms and proverbs and the differences between idioms and proverbs. What is different between idiom and proverbs? So without wasting any further time, we are going to start our lesson. So let's begin. Now, what are idioms? Let's go with the definition first. An idiom is a fixed phrase or an expression that means something different from the words that make it up. Usually, you cannot figure out what the phrase means from knowing the individual word. Now, idiom is a group of words which you express in the form of with the help of sentence. But remember, whatever you understand from the words may not be correct. The meaning can be different according to the sentence. Like if a person is making a sentence, then only you will be able to understand. Okay? Idiom jo hota hai, and it's a fixed phrase. Phrase means you cannot change it, the exact words. अब ईडियम क्या होता है? दो चार लफ्जों से एक छोटा सा सेंटेंस, इनकम्प्लीट सेंटेंस बोल सकते हैं आप, होता है जिसको आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं. वो अपने इजहार करता है, अपनी मीनिंग आपको बताता है, बट वो सेंटेंस जब हम कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं तभी पता होगा, और उसके जो हमें लगता है कि इसका ये मतलब होगा वैसा मतलब नहीं होता. इट्स लाइक लेट्स से इट्स इट ईडियम इज बेसिकली Mahavre. In Urdu, we call it Mahavre. It seems like iska ye matlab hoga, but the meaning is always different. And it is exact phrase, and meaning is also exact. And the only thing is that to memorize is that you have to learn it. Okay. Now let's go with the examples. Under the weather. Now, under the weather seems incomplete, and we cannot understand the meaning of this idiom. Idiom का मतलब यही होता है कि वो सेंटेंस, idiom खुद जो होता है इनकम्प्लीट होता है. विदाउट अ सेंटेंस हमें समझ नहीं आएगा, और इसके बाद सेकेंडली उसकी मीनिंग भी डिफरेंट हो सकती है. The ball is in your court. This is a famous idiom, and again, when we use this in a sentence, only we will then be able to conceive the idea. और अगर हम इसको मीनिंग पता होगा कि बॉल इज इन योर कोर्ट, यानी अब आपके हाथ में है सब कुछ, तो इन दिस वे we'll come to know the meaning. Spill the beans. Now it does not mean you have to spill the beans. Break a leg. You don't have to break a leg. There's another meaning for that thing, and वो भी मैं meaning I'm not going to discuss in this video, in this class. I have another video totally on idioms and the meanings. And for that, you have to watch my next class. Pull someone's leg. Sat on a fence. Throw thick and thin. Once in a blue moon. So these are few idioms I have just given as an example to make you understand that idiom does not make sense. If we read the idiom, we will not understand what it means unless we know the meaning. Plus, it with the help of sentence, we will be able to understand the meaning. Okay, now what about proverb? Now, proverb is a short, famous expression that gives advice and has some truth to it. These are sayings that have been passed down. All cultures and languages have proverbs. Now, proverbs are short, famous expression, sayings. It can give you advice, or it has some truth, some moral, some lesson. And basically, these are sayings which have been passed over and over again to us. And maybe we are going to pass it to our next generation. And all the cultures, all the languages have their own proverbs. ठीक है. Proverbs meaning is कहावतें. कहावतें means something from the olden time, पुराने जमाने की कहावतें, which has been proven correct. कहावतों को पढ़कर आपको समझ आ जाता है कि what is behind the story. प्रोवर्ब छोटे से मशहूर जुमले होते हैं जो या तो ज्यादातर नसीहत होती है या कोई सच्चाई बयान होती है जिसमें कोई लेसन होता है हमारे लिए, और वो पास ऑन होती जाती हैं. और डिफरेंट कल्चर्स, डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस में प्रोवर्ब्स होते हैं. नाउ लेट मी गिव एग्जांपल्स. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I can easily understand with this sentence. एक apple रोज खाने से we are not going to go to the doctor. So the meaning is also almost the same. It's better to be safe than sorry. This proverb means that it's better to take precautions. पहले ही अपने आप को सेव करना चाहिए, बाद में पछताने और being sorry. Action speaks louder than words. यानी you don't need words. आपके actions, आपका behavior बता देता है what you mean. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. This means कि अगर if you're sweet enough, then you can have more reward for anything than if you are salty or you have something which is not favorable. यानी अगर आप मीठे होंगे तो आपको ज्यादा चीजें लोग अट्रैक्ट करेंगे, आपके पास ज्यादा चीजें आएंगी. बट इफ यू आर थोड़ा सा आप खट्टे होंगे तो लोग आपसे दूर हट जाएंगे and you'll not fulfill your aims. Don't judge a book by its cover. This proverb means कि आपको ये नहीं पता होता कि ऊपर से इंसान का बिहेवियर कैसा है, असल में क्या होता है इंसान. Don't judge a book by its cover. Whatever your appearance is, don't judge it. Maybe you seem very simple from outside, but inside you are a different person. Cleanness is next to godliness. Means Allah को सफाई पसंद है and सफाई दस ईमान होती है. The early birds catches the worm. यानी those who wake up early, जो सुबह उठते हैं, वो ज्यादा अपना शिकार करते हैं, रिस्क हासिल करते हैं, और worms जो होते हैं जल्दी वो अपना कैच करती है. मीन्स बर्ड्स को जिस तरह ज्यादा रिस्क मिलता है, यू गेट योर गोल्स अचीव. यू आर एबल टू अचीव योर गोल्स इफ यू वेक अप अर्ली और यू गेट द अपॉर्चुनिटी अर्ली. ठीक है. Actually, the purpose was not explaining you the meaning. The purpose was that by the sentence we can easily understand what it is meant. And these are all proverbs which have been passed down to us जनरेशन टू जनरेशन, और इनको हम उर्दू में कहते हैं कहावतें. Now, what is the difference between proverb and idioms? Now, see, let's first discuss the idiom. Idiom is a fixed expression that contains a figurative meaning. Idiom बिल्कुल exact expression होता है जिसमें एक कोई symbol दिया गया होता है और उसकी exact जो मीनिंग होती है वो you cannot understand the meaning unless you are reading a sentence or you know the meaning, you have memorized the meaning. Idioms do not contain a moral. Idiom does not have a lesson, does not carry an advice. Idioms are phrases, not complete sentences. Remember, these are 2-3 words and they seem incomplete unless you construct a sentence or make it a complete with the help of few other words. Idioms do not make sense if you're not familiar with it. I'm repeating this again. You will not understand an idiom unless you know the meaning and you're not with familiar. Idiom एक फिक्स एक्सप्रेशन होता है, एक सिंबल होता है किसी चीज का. Idiom do not contain moral, मतलब idiom के पास कोई एडवाइस, कोई नसीहत या इसमें कोई लेसन नहीं होता. Idioms कंप्लीट सेंटेंस कभी नहीं होता और idiom कभी अपने तरफ से मायने नहीं देता जब तक आप उसको पूरा सेंटेंस में कंप्लीट नहीं करते. Now let's go to the proverb. Now, proverbs is a short, well-known saying that contain an advice. Proverb में छोटा सा होता है और उसको पढ़कर आपको मतलब समझ आ जाता है, उसमें मोस्टली एडवाइस यानी नसीहत होती है. Proverbs contain moral and advice based on a journal truth. Now, जो भी लेसन, जो भी एडवाइस, नसीहत होती है, वो एक हकीकत से के मबनी होता है. मीन्स इट इज बेस्ड ऑन द ट्रुथ. देयर समथिंग हैपेंड इन द पास्ट, and for the lesson, for the moral, the proverb has been formed. Proverbs or sentences, very true, we can easily understand. Proverbs can be understood even if you are hearing it for the first time. See, I told you the difference. I read idiom, but it was not possible for you to explain each and every idiom, as it was not easy to understand. But when I read proverbs and I read all the proverbs along with the meaning, it was easily understood. Now let's just have a little bit of comparison of idiom and proverbs so you can easily understand what idioms are, what proverbs are. Idiom is a fixed expression that contains a figurative meaning. Proverb, the short, well-known saying that contains an advice. Idioms do not contain a moral. Proverbs contain moral or an advice based on the journal truth. Idiom are phrases, not complete sentences. Proverbs are sentences. Idioms do not make sense if you are not familiar with it. Proverbs can be understood even if you are hearing it for the first time. So these are few different differences between idioms and proverbs. I hope you have understood the difference between idioms and proverbs very nicely. So let's just have a little bit of understanding exercise. It's a very simple exercise. You have to just identify the proverbs and idioms, and it's not that difficult, those who have understood. Now, a bad workman always blames its tools. A bad workman always blames his tools. What do you think? Is it an idiom or a proverb? It's a proverb, because we can easily understand the meaning that a bad workman always blames its tool. Means a person who is not successful will keep blaming the others. It's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. Is it an idiom or a proverb? Yes, it's an idiom because we are not understanding the meaning. It seems incomplete. It does not have any lesson, any moral, any advice not been given. A bird in a hand is worth two in the bush. Again, proverb. Barking up the wrong tree. Proverb. Barking up the wrong tree. Proverb. It's raining cats and dogs. Are we telling this to cats and dogs? No, we are not. It's not easily understandable. So it's an idiom. Let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. It's an idiom because it's totally, we have to know the meaning of this. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Means somebody, you are missing that person, or you have not been in touch, definitely you will miss or you'll be founder of that person more. So it's a proverb. So we just completed this simple exercise of identifying the proverb and idioms. I told you the differences. I hope you have understood it very nicely. And for the next class, I'm going to go with the proverbs meaning and explanation of few proverbs and sentences. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Meet you soon. Take care.